José Mourinho isn't just a football manager. He's a walking theater. A tactical genius? Yes. A motivator? Without a doubt. But perhaps what defines the special one more than anything is his flair for the dramatic. Whether on the touchline, in press conferences, or in post-match interviews, Mourinho has delivered some of the most iconic and unforgettable moments in football history. In this video, we present to you the full story of José Mourinho's most dramatic moments. Some controversial, some hilarious, and some legendary. Mourinho's dramatic flair burst onto the European stage with FC Porto. In the 2003-2004 UEFA Champions League round of 16, Porto faced Manchester United. After a 2-1 win at home, they needed a win or goalless draw at Old Trafford. United led 1-0 and were poised to go through on away goals until the 90th minute when Porto won a free kick. The ball was whipped in, United keeper Tim Howard spilled it, and Costinha pounced. Goal. Tie over. What followed is now legendary. Mourinho, in a black coat, sprinted down the touchline with arms aloft, celebrating wildly in front of the stunned United fans. It was his "I've arrived" moment on the big stage. Porto went on to win the Champions League, and Mourinho was snapped up by Chelsea. At his Chelsea unveiling, journalists expected humility. What they got was vintage Mourinho. The man said, "Please don't call me arrogant, but I'm European champion and I think I'm a special one." The phrase stuck, and so did the persona. Mourinho's first Chelsea spell was filled with drama. Spats with Arsene Wenger and Rafa Benitez. Mind games with Sir Alex Ferguson, and title wins sealed with swagger. In a Champions League quarterfinal against Barcelona, Mourinho accused referee Anders Frisk of bias and claimed Barca boss Frank Rijkaard entered the referee's dressing room at halftime. The backlash was immense. Frisk received death threats and retired from refereeing. UEFA banned Mourinho for 2 matches, but he remained defiant. Chelsea went on to knock out Barcelona and reached the semi-finals. The message was clear: Mourinho thrived in conflict. Mourinho's rivalry with Arsene Wenger was one of football's fiercest. The peak came in October 2014 during a Chelsea-Arsenal clash at Stamford Bridge. After a heavy tackle on Alexis Sanchez, Wenger stormed into Mourinho's technical area and shoved him. Mourinho didn't back down. Cameras caught the clash, and it sent headlines into overdrive. Mourinho later mocked Wenger for being a specialist in failure, sparking more drama between the two. Inter Milan's run to the 2009-2010 Champions League title was Mourinho's greatest tactical masterpiece. In the semi-finals, they defeated Guardiola's Barcelona 3-1 in the first leg. In the second leg, at Camp Nou, Inter Milan were down to 10 men after Thiago Motta's red card. They defended with all they had, losing 1-0 but winning on aggregate. At full time, Mourinho ran onto the pitch, celebrating like a warrior. Later, he was seen in tears near the team bus with Marco Materazzi. He was so emotional. At Real Madrid, Mourinho found himself in the most intense football rivalry with Barcelona. During his time, Madrid and Barca met an incredible 17 times in just over 2 seasons. Mourinho brought an aggressive edge to Madrid, and in the 2011 Spanish Super Cup, tempers exploded. During a touchline scuffle, Mourinho was seen gouging Barcelona assistant Tito Villanova's eye from behind. The act was condemned globally. And what did he say about it? He claimed not to know Villanova's name, calling him Pito Villanova. When asked later about it, he smiled. Why? The controversy overshadowed everything. But Mourinho kept the psychological war alive. As Manchester United manager, Mourinho constantly clashed with the press and ex-players like Paul Scholes and Gary Neville. After a 3-0 home loss to Spurs in 2018, Mourinho came out fighting in a post-match press conference. Holding up 3 fingers, he reminded journalists of his 3 Premier League titles, more than all the other current managers combined. And then he demanded respect from them, saying, respect, respect, respect. It was theatrical, unhinged, and totally Mourinho. As Tottenham Hotspur boss, Mourinho was never far from the headlines. In a Champions League game versus Olympiacos, Spurs were 2-0 down. A ball boy reacted quickly to return the ball for a throw-in, leading to a goal. Mourinho sprinted to the sideline and hugged the boy, giving him credit for the assist. The boy was later invited to have lunch with the team. Mourinho's emotional instincts made headlines again, but in a more endearing way. At AS Roma, Mourinho added more drama to his legacy. In 2022, he led the Italian side to their first ever European trophy, the UEFA Europa Conference League. The celebrations were wild. Mourinho was emotional, crying on the pitch. He later got a tattoo of the Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League trophies on his arm, being the only manager to have won all three. Few times, Mourinho would say, "I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble." Usually, he uses these lines after certain refereeing decisions or when the game doesn't go his way. The line has become a cultural phenomenon. Fans still quote it to this day, and even Mourinho now laughs about how iconic it has become. José Mourinho is not just a football coach. He is a character, a performer, and a master of narrative. Every club he's managed, from Porto to Chelsea, Inter, Madrid, United, Spurs, and Roma, has experienced unforgettable drama. His methods may divide opinion, but his impact is undeniable. Wherever Mourinho goes, fireworks follow. In football's greatest theaters, he has played the villain, the hero, the underdog, and the conqueror. Love him or hate him, one thing is certain. With José Mourinho, it's never boring. The story of José Mourinho is still being written. The special one may fall, rise, provoke, cry, and fight, but he'll always give us something to remember.